Welcome back, guys. This is Christine, your DIY craftaholic. Today I have 3 easy DIYs for you that took me about an hour to do. So I know you're gonna find them quite easy to do as well. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so we're doing a mini bamboo tray. Now I'm using this tray from the Dollar Tree. It is 5 inches by 7 inches. So I measured out the size. Then I just gave it a coat of white acrylic paint on the inside and as well as the outside. Then I took my heat gun and dry it. Now I'm just using some brown Waverly watered down paint with a chip brush to just dry brush the outer part of the tray. I am not going in too heavy with it. Then I'm taking this bamboo placemat, which I bought for 79 cents. You can check this video to see how I used it for a Kirkland DIY hamper. And now I'm going to just place a piece of painter's tape around the area that I'm going to be removing. And I'm taking this utility knife and just cutting through the bamboo. Because there are threads holding it together, I have to make sure that I cut on both sides. So I'm cutting the front, flipping it over, and cutting the back as well. And now that I've cut it off, I'm going to just glue it on the inside. So I'm putting down some hot glue. I'm removing the tape, and then I'm going to just put that down on the inside. When I was done with that, I am now going to flip it over and add 4 legs. So I'm using 4 of these small wooden cubes from the Dollar Tree. I didn't want to paint it, so I just used some Mod Podge to just give it a little sheen. You could actually paint the legs if you want to. I think they would look just as cute painted. And that was done. Now for the second DIY, I'm using this decorative wall plaque from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just painting the outer part of it. I gave it 1 coat of white paint, and then I just used a heat gun to dry it. Now I'm taking 8 of these tumble tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. Again, I am just adding some Mod Podge because I didn't want to stain or paint. And then I'm going to use those as the legs for this riser. So I'm going to glue them on using some hot glue as well as some wood glue. And then I use these clips from the Dollar Tree just to hold them in place until they were dry. Now I'm flipping it over, and I'm now going to take the remainder of the bamboo placemat and glue that on the top. Now the surface of this riser was 11 inches by 7 inches. So I'm measuring that out, and once I measured the distance or have the measurement down, I then took some painter's tape to guide me as to where I need to cut, and then I am cutting that off. And once I cut that off, I am now going to use some wood glue as well as some Fix It All glue for a longer lasting hold, and then I applied some hot glue to the mat and glued that on. And I did say that these DIYs were very easy. They didn't take me that long to complete at all. So this straw hat is from the Dollar Tree. I've seen other YouTubers use it for other projects. So off camera I took it apart, and when I was done I got 13 yards. So I rolled that up onto a paper tubing, and that is just to keep it in place for when I'm using it. So I'm just taking a piece of it and I am wrapping around the edges of this riser. When you wrap the first layer, you want to make sure that you secure the ends properly with some hot glue as well as the strong adhesive. And this DIY is done. Hey, if this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It will really help my channel to grow, and continue watching. So let's move right into the next DIY. Now we're on to DIY number 3, and I'll be making some jute balls. Now I had some Mod Podge, so what I did, I just poured a little water in there just to dilute it a little bit, and I'm taking this roll of jute twine that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, which I've had for a long while now. I just don't like how it's a little too rough, so I just decided to use it for this. What I did, I blew the balloon up first, then I tie around the top, and then I wrap the jute around the balloon as many times and in different order and angle. And when I was done, I tucked the end on the inside, and I did all of that first before I actually dip it into the jute. I felt that I needed to do it this way because it would have given me more control rather than dipping the jute in the liquid and then having it dripping all over the place. So I felt that doing it this way would have been a little cleaner. When you're dipping the ball into the liquid, you want to make sure that you are immersing it, or make sure that all of the jute is soaked with the liquid, because that is what is going to keep it together when it's dry. Now this twine I got from the 79-cent store as well. It's coarser than the one from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, it frays a lot. So what I did the same thing with that, and I left them overnight to dry, and the next day I took my X-Acto knife, pierced the balloon on the inside and then pull it through, and I did that for the other balls, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments down below which of these were your favorite, and be sure to watch this video where I did a Kirkland inspired DIY using the bamboo placemat, and I'll catch you in my next one.